GNERD Corner Studios, located behind the MMI Institute off the I-17 and the 101. It's time for another episode of GNERD Corners Presents. And tonight I am joined by my special guests, John and Mike from the Nerd Reactor. And I'm your host, Jay Poole. So for people that don't know, can you please tell the listeners exactly who you are and what you do?
Mike, you want to do the honors?
Well, I'm Mike, and that's John, and we are part of Nerd Reactor. And Nerd Reactor is a geek website, nerd website. We cover all things gaming, comics, movies, and we also host a little YouTube show where we do reactions for our favorite TV shows like The Walking Dead, Gotham, Flash, not Arrow, and a bunch of other shows.
Fantastic. And how did you guys get started originally?
With the Nerd Reactor, it's just we're just a bunch of nerds, and we wanted to talk about the things we enjoyed, whether it's like movies, video games, just superhero stuff, and we got together and just thought of a name like what would be catchy. We came up with a lot of names, but Nerd Reactor was one of them, and it just formed back in 2010, I believe, and it just went on from there. So yeah, we just talk about just the things that we're excited about.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I love doing that with my friends. Sometimes I get with some of my friends who are like comic book writers or artists, and we just shoot the shit back and forth and talking about stuff that they wrote, and then they say, oh yeah, well they have now a television show that has my stuff out. Or just random stuff. I like talking to Robert Kirkman when he's in town about Walking Dead and stuff. So
we have a lot of friends.
Yeah, you can name drop. I like name dropping also cosplayers. They're like, Jessica Negri? I'm like, yeah, I knew her before she was really famous.
The only guy I'll name drop is Mike, because he's the love of my life.
That's I want that taken off of this podcast.
But you can't get rid of those videos where you see John dancing over you. Just dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that we did plenty of the dancing for the Stranger Things reaction videos. I miss Stranger Things, though.
Yeah, you would be floating off. I don't know where, but somewhere off screen.
Yeah, we were going to actually have I've been telling John we need to do a compilation of all his dancing from Stranger Things. Or even that, or just, we do a lot of dancing in general, just because sometimes there's a good song that comes on to some show. It could be Stranger Things, it could be even The Flash, it'll have a really great song in the background, and it's for whatever reason, it's catchy enough, and we just start dancing.
And that's why we like dancing.
Exactly. Now, you actually know one of my other friends, Ivy Doomkitty.
Oh, yes, good old Ivy Doomkitty.
Oh, yes. I heard you did a panel at one of the
Yes.
recent cons.
Oh, yes, we did. The panel, this was during Stan Lee's LA Comic-Con, formerly Kamikaze. And the panel, we just invited some of our friends, Ivy Doomkitty. We got Egan from Cosplay in America. And we have artist Abe, very talented artist. And instead of your typical, I don't know, we didn't even do a Q&A. We just had fun. We just played games, and we just gave away prizes.
Yeah, I love hosting panels. Panels are fun.
Yeah. And this was our first panel. We've never done a panel before, and I was actually anticipating, anxious, just to see how it's going to be just doing a panel. And after doing it, I want to do another one maybe next year at the 2017 Stanley's Comic-Con, or maybe any other convention. So just depends on whether I can get Mike here to just be part of it, and some other guests.
That's awesome. Now, do you try to attend all the major geek conventions in California?
Yeah, since we're based in LA, so we try to go to all the conventions around the Southern California area and some in the northern convention area. So the recent one we just went to was BlizzCon, which just happened over the weekend, Friday and Saturday. We were there. Well, I was there to film our upcoming cosplay music video, so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. I had a handful of friends from Arizona head over to BlizzCon to do the costume contest and everything.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, the costume contest. You're talking about the one on Friday night?
Yes.
Yeah, I was able to see some of the outfits. Yeah, something about BlizzCon just inviting a lot of great cosplayers. Like their outfits is just amazing. It's out of this world, and someday, maybe next year, I'll come and cosplay with a huge armor and all of that.
Nice. It was sort of like Overwatch armor, or more of like World of Warcraft.
Let's see. If I had to choose now, maybe Overwatch. If I play more of Overwatch, I've played a little bit of it. But if I had to choose a character, maybe a male version of Diva.
It's been done.
I know it's been done. We've got some male divas in our cosplay music video, so I know what it's like.
Oh yeah, cosplay is fun. I'm actually a cosplay photographer myself, so I get paid to take pictures of people, which is always nice.
Oh yeah, it's always nice.
Because I go to conventions and I lose money, then I get paid, so I gain money, then I have to pay for more stuff, so I lose money again.
Yeah. But yeah, cosplay is great. I love cosplay. Just the cosplay culture.
Definitely. Now let's get into television shows, because this season we have a lot of awesome shows coming to the forefront, and a lot of shows that have come back from being in hiatus for so long, like Arrow, like The Flash, Walking Dead. Do you have a favorite that has a television show that's either new or has come back for a new season?
I think Mike and we've been talking about our favorite show for this season. And Mike, you want to take it away?
Yeah, I think right now, as far as like new show, it has to be Westworld. Westworld is like so far like the best new show that we've seen in a long time. Especially if like you're a gamer, you watch it and you're like, this is everything about gaming. Like, it's so based on this world that's supposed to be fake, and at the same time it's real. And it's like, how do you end up feeling emotions for these people that are technically not even really alive? And if you're a gamer, you watch and you're like, oh, this is so relevant to me, because there'll be parts where they'll have like a guy that's a plant for like a quest, and then like one of the visitors will be like, no, don't talk to him. We're just gonna take you on to some gold rush thing or whatever. It's like, let's not do that, And it's a lot like that. It's just a different type of show that it appeals to you if you're a big gamer, or if you like sci-fi, because of the whole android thing, and like, are they really sentient? Do they really feel? Other than that, I think another show that we really liked that returned was Gotham. This season's Gotham has been really, really good. And I know like a lot of people are not like big fans of it because it takes so much liberties with the original source material. But I mean, it's a good show, and it's like almost every week we watch, and it's just it's fun. It's just really like captivating.
Yeah, I think if you like the Batman lore, and if you're open to big changes, then I think you enjoy this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with the introduction of the Mad Hatter, I thought he is a very interesting villain, because he doesn't really have superpowers. He just has the power of suggestion and the power of hypnotizing people. So I could kind of see that as sort of a power. It's just an ability that he has. He knows how to mess with people's minds.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing Jerome come back. I was really disappointed when they killed him off.
Yeah. Jerome is like, they even show producer Bruno Heller said that he was going to be a big part in this upcoming season. And then like because it's not even sure if they're going to get a third season because the show just for whatever reason doesn't track well with audiences. But he said that Jerome would be a big part of season 3, like one of the main villains. So I'm hoping people will continue to watch it and support the show because it's good.
Oh yeah, definitely. And if he turns out to be really the Joker, then he will be a much better Joker than Jared Leto. Now, a lot of my friends are going to really hate me for saying that because they love Suicide Squad. But, you know, it wasn't my favorite interpretation of the Joker.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you, Jeremy. The Jared Leto version, probably one of my least favorite. And like you, I'll get a lot of flack from, you know, one of our friends or whoever, fans that enjoyed Suicide Squad. But my favorite, you know, of course, Mark Hamill and Heath Ledger. So I think they're both great.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just, you know, when I saw Suicide Squad, or even in the trailer, or even just the pictures of the Joker, he just seems like one of those like crazy drug lords that likes to show off how much power and money he has.
Yeah.
And the Joker really, to my recollection, and also being a fan of the character, he was more of somebody who's chaotic and didn't even really care if he was rich. I mean, he would burn all of his money if he could, and in the Dark Knight, they showed that he did.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the money.
Yeah, it's all about just creating chaos and just not about like forming something or like just flashing off your nice ride or your bling bling.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now to go back on Westworld, that is an awesome show, and what they're doing with it, a lot of people have theories that a lot of the storylines in there are being separated by different timelines, so they're not all taking place at the same time.
Oh yeah, I've heard of those theories.
And then it makes you wonder, okay, so when is the past and when is the present and then when is the future? Because if there are different timelines going on here, like what happened first?
Yeah. For me, like when I watch these shows, sometimes I like to just kind of theorize what might happen, but for Westworld, I'm just enjoying the ride. I just want to just be in the moment, and if it comes up, if a shocking surprise comes up, I'll be like, okay, that's cool. And so I don't like to think way too far ahead, but I've read some stuff about the timeline, about the Man in Black maybe being this one person. So those are interesting, but for me, I just like to just be on a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, definitely. Now, did you guys ever see the original film?
Yes, I have.
I have not.
So, for you, John, what do you think of the comparisons from the film to the television show now?
The movie is cool for just giving us that whole idea of an amusement park going haywire, and it helped inspire a lot of future projects like the Itchy and Scratchy Land in The Simpsons, or even Michael Crichton doing Jurassic Park. So I love that just for it helping being one of the pioneers for that. And the show is like on a whole other level. It just adds to that. Like we're not even the movie has the robots going haywire. Here is more than that. You get to see the side of the artificial beings. You care for them, and then you also get to see the side of the humans, the guests. And just showing two sides, it's kind of tough to like root for somebody because there are like a lot of layers being revealed, and you're like, oh, that's new. Maybe this person is cool. So it's interesting.
Yeah,
the show is like an onion.
It really is. I mean, it makes you question your own humanity.
Yeah.
And that's always important in a show like this.
Yeah, and like what Mike was talking about, since we're gamers, we can relate to this show a lot because the stuff I do in Grand Theft Auto and a lot of games, we're like killing and running over people. It's a violent. We can be as violent as we want in the video games, and does that really make us violent people? And that makes That's what the show kind of asks. Like, if this person is violent, is he evil in real life?
We're perverse in our mind, but are we willing
Yeah.
to act on it
Yeah,
in
yeah.
like reality? Because they have no consequences in here, but pretty soon there will be consequences.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's all about consequences in real life. Consequences. If you hurt someone, the cops are gonna come knocking.
No, definitely. Speaking of consequences, The Walking Dead.
Oh,
The Walking Dead just came back a couple weeks ago with, earth-shattering, head-shattering like premiere
yeah.
with record-breaking numbers watching it, and wow, that every second of that episode, just I was on pins and needles. I knew what was coming, except for like the second death. Spoilers for people that haven't watched our DVR yet.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we get a second episode that is so opposite that.
Oh yeah. Walking Dead is usually known for having one episode leading up to like such a traumatic event, and then the next episode focusing on a different character, and it's just this cool episode. But I'm like, what's happening to the other characters? I want to know more. So I'm hoping like the future episodes they're not going to try to drag it on and just show us what we want to see, because that's what they kind of did with the last episode with teasing of a certain character's death, and it gave me a heart attack.
Oh yeah, I think it gave everybody else a heart attack, and also a lot of issues that they'll probably have to talk to a psychiatrist later on. It's a fictional character, but I love that character.
Yeah, it's sometimes you can get attached to fictional characters, and it's interesting. I've seen people fight over, like, for one guy, he's like, oh, I didn't care about this character, or blah blah blah, and another person is like, you have no soul, and he's like, well, it's a fictional character, it's not real life. So I can see both sides, because we have reacted in ways where people were upset by the way we reacted to certain characters, and we're like, well, it's a fake character and blah blah blah, but then sometimes there's a character that we like and we enjoy, and we feel for that character, and we even cry for that character.
Oh yeah, definitely. I teared up. You know what? I'm just gonna say it because it's been all over the place, and there are too many memes out there. It was Glenn.
Yeah.
Glenn.
Yeah. Yes.
No, I teared up because I've watched the show from day one, and he's been there since day one, and to see him go, knowing that he's gonna go, after reading issue 100, and expecting that, but just I didn't realize it would match the comic book so closely.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Negan as a villain, I hate what he has done, but he's such a charismatic villain. I don't know. There's a weird kind of like oxymoron to that.
Yeah, it's kind of like Joker. Like, Joker's an evil character, but he's just so likable. And I think that's the same case with Negan. He does the things that just makes you tear up because of the characters involved. For example, Glenn. But he's just fun to watch, so it just messes with your head.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, this villain, I think, is just Negan being introduced is going to change the landscape of The Walking Dead from the past villains like the Governor or Terminus or anything else like that. It's just he's what Rick would have become if Rick had crossed a certain line, which was very thin.
Yeah, that's very close. And what happened to Rick after that? Oh man.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we just talked about The Walking Dead. Now, what do you think about the Flash and Arrow this season? Are you on board with what's been going on, or have you jumped off?
Mike, you want to talk about Arrow? We like Arrow?
We really don't watch Arrow anymore. We've kind of jumped ship from Arrow. We were hardcore for a good couple of seasons, and then I think it was the last season that we finally broke. Yeah, we just couldn't take it anymore. I don't know what happened to this show. Like, the first two seasons of Arrow were so great, and I remember when John and a couple of our other friends were watching the show, and like they were already into the second season, and I'd never watched it before. And then they were like, "Oh, you got to watch the show," and I was like, "Oh, whatever." It's kind of weird that they're doing a DC character on a CW network, whatever. And then after I watched like the first couple episodes, I was like, "Oh my god, they could do like a legit like live action Batman show." Like, because that's how good it was, how good like the parkour was, and like I was really into the first couple episodes, and then I don't know what happened in the last two seasons. It just kind of trailed off, and everything became about Elicity, and
Oh yeah.
and then Damien
Hey,
Dark
Mike,
wasn't
Mike,
really.
you're gonna offend the Elicity fans.
Fuck the Elicity fans, and I have a lot of Elicity fans that are friends of mine. But man, that kept dragging on. It was on and off, which kept dragging the story down, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I was cool with Elicity, but it just became the center point of the show, and it was like I don't care about this that much. And like what happened is like Damien Dark wasn't even that great of a villain. Like I wasn't. I don't know.
Let it all out, Mike. Let it all out.
we were so fed up with the show that we decided to stop watching it because we couldn't give genuine reactions. Like, well, we want to be truthful with our reactions for a show, but then like, what's the point of doing a reaction show where our reactions are constantly negative?
Yeah, here's our philosophy on like what reaction videos we do. We do them, we react to them, and if we enjoy it, we want to enjoy the shows that we watch. And if we're not enjoying it, I don't want to do it. So I feel sorry for our fans that want us to react to it, but there are a lot of good shows out there that I'd rather focus my time on that we enjoy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, truth be told, when I discovered your channel, I was actually looking for reactions to Game of Thrones. And I came upon your channel. And I really enjoyed your reactions, and I kept watching them. And then realized it wasn't just Game of Thrones stuff you react to, it was a bunch of other shows that I actually enjoy as well. So then I kept watching it, and I watched all your past stuff as well, and I've just been enjoying it. So
thank you.
That's one of the reasons I wanted to interview you guys tonight, is because when I am genuinely, enjoy something that I watch, if I can on a daily basis, if you guys have a new video up or something like that, I will watch it. I just recently watched your DC Legends of Tomorrow video.
Oh my god, that episode intense.
Yes, zombies,
Civil War. Yes, touchy subject of slavery. It's crazy. I think they did a great job of just that topic, and it moved me.
Yeah, I think it probably would have been a little more powerful episode to me if they took away the zombie thing in there, but I understand that they needed a plot piece in there to kind of go, okay, so they need something to fight this episode. Okay, let's put zombies in there. But when it came to the slavery part, that was really good, and then all of a sudden it's back to zombies. So it kind of took away from that emotional, resonance that you just got from that scene in the bar.
Yeah. Definitely agree with you there, Jeremy. If they focused more on the slavery, I think the emotional tale would just be amplified even more. Just if we're just focusing on that instead of going back to zombies and Mick and all of that stuff.
Oh yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, definitely.
Zombie Mick.
Zombie Mick. Was I trying to kiss you?
that was funny.
It's such like dry, serious humor for him, but it works.
Yeah, he's great, and that was such a big episode for him too, because he gave Brandon Ralph his Captain Cold's cold gun, and I was like, whoa, that was a big thing. I didn't see that coming, and I don't know if he's ever going to return, because I thought there was a chance that they would bring him back even after he died last season, but I don't know.
He's coming back, but he's going to be on all the shows. He has a contract to appear on all the shows.
It's gonna be like an Earth 2 version or Earth 3 or something, maybe.
Perhaps. I don't know the whole story, but I think he's gonna be part of the new Rogues.
Okay.
I guess we'll find out once that episode comes out.
Yep, and thanks a lot, Barry, for fucking up the timeline again.
Good old Barry.
Good old Barry. He tries to do good, but he keeps messing everything up and setting everything.
I don't think he's doing as bad as, let's say, the Legends. Because at least Barry, when he tries to make changes, it's changes within his own personal life. As for Legends, they've done big changes.
Oh yeah, I wonder who doesn't exist anymore. The last episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting, and especially when they're gonna have to face off with the Reverse Flash, which then goes back to the Flash. So we'll have the Legends teaming up with the Flash and Arrow and Supergirl in a major crossover.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I don't know how they're gonna fit all that in with so many characters. Like when we saw it with the Flash and Arrow, it was just two characters, and now it's a big team.
The universe is huge.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping they somehow once more bring in John Constantine for some reason or another. They need to bring him back.
Yeah, John Constantine, the one where he appeared, was it the 4th season?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, if it was either way, it was my favorite episode out of the episodes that appeared. So they need to bring in more John Constantine. I agree with you.
Oh yeah, NBC had no idea what they were dealing with when that was on television. They said, "Okay, so it's a supernatural show, all right," and I thought they did a really good job with the casting of John Constantine.
Oh yeah, I've only seen a couple of episodes of John Constantine. I wish I watched more. Maybe it was people like me that resulted in John Constantine being canceled.
Well, you can actually watch. I'm being a commercial for CW. You can now watch John Constantine's whole series on the CW Seed app.
And I'll be there watching.
It really was a good show, in my opinion, and it was really disappointing because I've been a fan of Hellblazer for a long time, and without Hellblazer or without John Constantine, there would have never been a Supernatural.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be a Hellblazer series, but it had something that had to do with getting the rights to it, and they weren't able to, so they had still the concept of fighting demons and supernatural beings and everything, so they changed it from John Constantine to two brothers.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
And that's why Castiel is an homage to John Constantine.
I did not know that.
So I like messing with Castiel cosplayers all the time, walking up to them. That's an awesome John Constantine cosplay, knowing full well that they are trying to be Castiel.
You troll.
I do. I also troll Constantine cosplayers, calling them Castiel. So.
Nice.
But yeah, good show. If you ever get a chance to finish the series, it's awesome. They finished the series with Dead Man. Yeah. Or before he becomes Dead Man. But if you read the comic book, you know who the character is. All right, so let's get into movies, because there's been some cool movies that come out recently. I just saw for like twice in a row Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw Doctor Strange too. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was trippy. It was like, people like to compare it to Inception when the trailers came out, but this is just 100 times crazier than what we saw in Inception.
Oh yeah, did you ever get to see the 15-minute preview that they showed a lot of people?
Oh yeah, we went there to watch the 15-minute preview, and that, when it was shown on IMAX, it was pretty great.
Nice. And the movie as a whole, I mean, it's a little over 2 hours, I believe.
I'm not sure.
I mean, what were your thoughts? I mean, from...
Oh yeah, so yeah, it's an origin movie, and I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's... My favorite is still, movies like Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, the first Iron Man. But definitely this one is still fun to watch. My favorite parts are the special effects and just the way Doctor Strange and the other characters uses their powers with warping the buildings and traveling through different realms. It's just colorful, and I think if you were on drugs, you would be in heaven.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you were on mushrooms or acid, you wouldn't be in heaven. I think you'd have a really bad trip. A really bad trip in some of those scenes, because you wouldn't know what is right side up or upside down. You'd be like upside down in your seat, freaking out.
Yeah, I wouldn't know because I never done shrooms.
You what? Maybe.
I'm a good boy.
You are. Hopefully, I'm not gonna say anything against that. I don't really know you. I just watch your videos. I pretend to know you, like I know that guy. He's Asian. I'm Asian.
Yeah, I don't go to raves. I don't do any of that stuff.
I can't do raves anymore. I got too old for that. I have friends that are like 5 years old. Yeah, they give me a headache.
Really?
Yeah, too many the loud music, the bouncing up and down with like very little rhythm to it. It's just.
all your EDM fans are gonna be like, just that's it. I'm not listening to this anymore.
Like you see, most of my fans are also my friends, so they know me. I'll be standing outside the rave, going, okay, I'm waiting for my friends to be done, and then have to carry them home back to the hotel room.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I love Doctor Strange. It was an incredible movie. Before this movie came out, there was a lot of controversy surrounding this movie about the choice for the Ancient One. Yeah, I don't know if did you guys ever read the original comic book?
Yeah, I've read the comic with the Ancient One being in it, and the story with the Ancient One and Mordo and all of that.
Yeah, and they cast a white woman in here, and that set the internet ablaze.
Oh yeah, we know all about that.
Now, what were your thoughts originally?
My thoughts originally, since for me the Ancient One wasn't like a big character for me that I care about, so I wasn't really affected by it. I can understand why some people would be just adamant about having an Asian actor play that role, but after watching the movie, there are a lot of Asian characters. For example, you got Benedict Wong as Wong. He was like, for me, the best part of the whole movie, just his interaction with Doctor Strange and just the way they feed off each other. And if they were to cast an Asian actor to play the Ancient One in that one, maybe it could have been better. For me, Tilda Swinton, she did all right. But it didn't really affect me that much.
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal breaker for me either. I really liked Tilda Swinton in that, and I kind of wish they made her more like ambiguous, like maybe like you really didn't know if she was a man or a woman. Because there was times when I was like looking at her, I was like, I don't even know if she's white. Like the way her face looks, like I mean, obviously your skin is white, but like her facial features and like they could have made it more like, is it a man? Is it a woman? Like I think that would have made it like at least more tolerable to people that were maybe upset, but I can understand. But in the end, it was like she was great, and I wasn't upset by the fact that they chose her.
Yeah, definitely. And all the actors in here are like triple A or A plus like actors. Yeah. They are all incredible. We have Benedict Cumberbatch. We have Chiwetel Ejiofor, which is a hard name to say. We have Another Benedict Wong, who I loved in Marco Polo.
Great Khan, Kublai Khan.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't think you guys reacted to Marco Polo.
No, we haven't seen the second season. We watched the first season, and we just started doing reactions recently. So,
yeah, that's an incredible show. And then you have, of course, Tilda Swinton, Rachel McAdams, who has a very small role in here.
Very small role.
She's pretty much.
I was surprised by I was surprised by how small her role is. It was like just pretty much non-existent. If you took her out, it wouldn't have changed the movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. definitely. I think they just wanted a big name.
Yeah.
But also, you have Mads Mikkelsen, who, unfortunately, in my opinion, suffers from um, the the bad the bad guy that doesn't have really much to do. I mean, he has
Yeah.
he's a threatening bad guy, but he's nothing like, in my opinion, like the Netflix villains.
Oh yeah, it's just the
Marvel.
way. Yeah, Netflix. They just have more time to flesh out the villains through 13 episodes, while for the Marvel films, it's, let's say around 2 hours, and I think they just want to focus more on the journey for the characters and just making the characters root for them. But then again, you have other movies where the villains are great. For example, Thor, he had Loki. Loki was a great villain, and they just played each other off well. And even the other comic book films, like The Dark Knight, you still have Batman's journey, but then you also have the Joker, who's just great. Or even the first, Batman Begins with Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul, however you want to pronounce it.
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of times it's the villain that really seals the deal of making it a really good storyline. That's why I think the Kingpin, in my opinion, is one of those villains in the Netflix Marvel universe that is really well written but extremely intimidating.
Oh yeah, that Kingpin. Yeah, that was definitely one of the best Marvel villains, like on live action. And for me, second place would go to the Purple Man, Kilgrave.
Oh yeah, definitely. David Tennant did a fantastic job as the Purple Man. I'm hoping they somehow bring him back, and that he actually turns purple when he comes back.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
But that's just, that's hoping, because, his skin wasn't purple like it was in the comic book. So I'm thinking maybe if he comes back somehow by magic, that his skin will turn purple and he will truly be the Purple Man.
Yeah.
Now let's get into your reactions. What is your favorite thing that you reacted so far on your YouTube channel?
What?
I have one. I think my favorite reaction, other than John crying to Glenn dying, I think my favorite reaction is, I can't remember his name, the child in it was the first episode, right, John, of last season of The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead, yeah. Was it
Yeah.
Sam? Was it
Sam?
Yeah.
Is it Sam? Yeah. The son, what's her name's son? I forgot her name. She's dead.
Is it Jesse or Jessica?
Jesse, yeah, Jesse's son, her youngest son. When he gets eaten, I couldn't hold back the laughter, and that's why John was saying earlier, like, people gave us a lot of flack for that because it was just too funny. I don't know why we laughed, but
it's just because the character, we don't get enough screen time for him. For me, I didn't really care enough for the character because most of the time he was being just annoying.
Little bitch.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it. And so when he dies, I'm like, okay, thank God. But then some people are like, oh my, but he's a kid. How can you laugh at that? It's so cruel. But it's and then we said it's a fictional character. It's we know it's not real. But then when it comes to Glenn dying, it's like I like Glenn. So it just depends on whether you like the character or not.
Yeah.
Well, he was a character that actually did stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that probably has to be my favorite one because me and John just like burst out laughing when they eat Sam, and then the whole family goes, and that was a really good episode. Like, just so much happened in that one, with a few like 10 minutes, like because Carl got shot, and Jesse dies, their son dies, the whole family just basically gets wiped out. And that was great. I love that moment, and that's one of my favorite reactions. Even though we got a lot of flack for it, it was still my favorite one.
Yeah.
You're gonna offend somebody. It doesn't matter if you have like a perfect episode and somebody's gonna go, I don't like what the shirt you're wearing.
Yeah. Because sometimes people are like, what I was gonna say, because sometimes people are like, oh, you guys you guys talk too much, and it's like, I want to watch the episode. It's like, well, then watch the episode. Why are you watching reactions? But then sometimes they're like, you guys don't talk enough, and it's like, you can't please everybody, and you just kind of have to try to like find some sort of like medium ground.
Well, I think right now we've found a good medium ground. Our medium ground is just having fun with the show and enjoying it. That's it.
Oh yeah, and I enjoy the show. It's really fun seeing you guys react to trailers that have come out, and the recent Wonder Woman trailer. I'm really excited about that one.
Oh yeah! Whoa! Wow! Wonder Woman. I'm excited for that one too. Just the cinematography, just her kicking ass, and just the stuff we've seen. It looks like she can do a lot of damage. She can hold her own, and I think she can just win the World War by herself.
Oh yeah, definitely. and Chris Pine, not just being like the love interest, but sort of throwing his sensible sense of humor in the film. Yeah. He's pretty much Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
Captain Kirk, but more of a from the trailer, it looks like the Captain Kirk in distress.
Well, it does look like he can kind of take care of himself. I mean, he is a soldier as well.
Yeah.
But dealing with somebody who's a golem and who is pretty much immortal and super strong and everything, it's hard to live up to that. But no, I would say he's a one-note actor, but all the roles
don't say it, Jeremy. Don't say it.
No, all the roles I've seen him in, I was like, he's just playing Captain Kirk over and over again, isn't he?
He is who he is.
Yeah.
But that one I'm looking forward to, and the villain, they're doing a good job of keeping the villains under wrap, and some people are thinking that was it Danny Huston's character, because we see him a bit in the trailer. He could be the God of War, Ares.
I believe that's what he's supposed to be. Yes.
Yeah. So that'd be great. I want to see that. A Greek god in a DC film.
He'll be in a good movie.
Oh yeah.
No, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I'm hoping that like brings DC back to having, I wasn't a huge fan of Dawn of Justice. And so
yeah, we are on the same boat as you.
I got a lot of flack from my friends. I'm a movie critic. I'm not just saying this because I'm a movie critic. I actually watched the movie, so I didn't just go, I hate it, I'm not going to watch it, so I'm going to judge it without seeing the movie. I'm like, no, I saw the movie, and I'm hoping that the rest of the DC universe isn't like this. I'm hoping the rumors that are coming out right now about the Batman movie aren't true. About them being in trouble with the studio.
With Warner Brother executives.
They don't know what they're doing, do they, over there?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, they just sort of like Jeff Johns run the whole thing. I mean, he pretty much kind of is, but like...
Yeah. Just give him total creative control, kind of like how Kevin Feige has over Marvel Studios.
Yeah, because I thought that was the whole purpose of them appointing him to the head of whatever. And I don't know, it seems like it's just too much money. Maybe they're like, we still want our hands in this. And I think that's the problem. Like that, there's just too many cooks in the kitchen, and that's why we get movies like Suicide Squad and Dawn of Justice, where you're like, there was something here. I don't know what happened, but there was definitely something that could have been good.
Yeah, and I had a huge hopes for Suicide Squad. I enjoyed the film more than Dawn of Justice because I thought it was fun. But there were so many things in there that that they could have kept in that make it a little more better, and that's what they're gonna do with the Ultimate Edition. They're gonna be putting in the clips that makes the Joker and Harley relationship not so lovable.
And then people are gonna say, "Oh, you're just a Marvel fanboy," and it's like, wow, so just because we don't like something, we're just automatically labeled a fanboy. It's like I love Marvel, I love DC, I love. Look at all the. If we didn't like DC, we wouldn't be reacting to like The Flash and Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow. We would be like, screw those shows. Because for now, like the DC shows are better for me at least than the Marvel shows. Like, I haven't been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I heard it was really good now with Ghost Rider showing up. I know Mike, you've been watching it.
Yeah, I've been watching it. It's pretty good. There's still some moments where I'm like, this is it's kind of cheesy. But I mean, I like Robbie Reyes, and I like Agents of Shield's version of him because I was not too big on them bringing the version from the comics, and they kind of like corrected it and made it better, which was cool because I was like, wow, they actually made him like a spirit of vengeance because in the comics he's not, which really wouldn't have made sense. It's like, why is he a Ghost Rider then?
Oh yeah, definitely. And they're going on like a 3-week hiatus right now. But in the last
Yeah.
episode, we got to see how Robbie Reyes became the Ghost Rider, and we got a quick glimpse of the person that turned him into the Ghost Rider, and it's Johnny Blaze.
Yeah, and I was like, thank God, because I read the comic version of Robbie Reyes, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. How does this guy just become possessed by a car, and like it's his uncle, and he talks to his dead uncle, and I was like, this is dumb. I don't like this. And they made him, and then they added Johnny Blaze to kind of correct it, and I was like, cool. I'll deal with this version. This version's way better.
Oh yeah, well that comic version doesn't like you, Mike.
Well, and that's why it was canceled.
Yeah, I think that's what's funny because like I know the comic book creator kind of like follows the show, and I was like, I wonder what he thinks of this. The fact that people are like getting behind the character, but like it's essentially really not his character, but it kind of is. But the backstory is completely different.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
And now with the uncle, with the revelation of the uncle, and him becoming literally almost like a sorcerer himself, which
Yeah.
ties into the Doctor Strange universe with Dormammu and the book, the Darkhold.
Yeah.
That's the connection to Doctor Strange. They try to throw those little connections in with the movies, like every season.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I think. It's a little better than last season, in my opinion, with Hive. That seemed to go like a little nowhere, in my opinion. They had this thing like, okay, who's gonna die? Who's gonna die? And then he came up to it, and I'm like, okay.
I want to ask you, Jeremy, you ever had a show where it's just so bad you just give up on it?
Yes, I have. Let's see, what was the shows? And usually I come back like later and like binge it because I just don't want to have to wait like on a weekly basis to watch it.
Yeah.
No, there's been so many. I can't even put a list on.
You think of one that was like, oh my god, I can't stand this anymore. I'm gonna pull my hair out.
Oh, oof. Let's see. Shoot, I can't name one. I don't know off the top of my head. Like I said, there's a huge list of shows that I watch, and I decided to drop off and then later come back and watch all the episodes.
But that's crazy because let's say you dropped off, but then you would still come back to it later on.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's dedication.
That is dedication. Or, and all of a sudden the next season's like really good, and I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
I need to catch up now.
Yeah.
Thank God for Netflix.
God bless
When they can actually get shows, on there, and you can binge the shit out of them. Like, okay, I'm not leaving my house for a few days, so I'm sick. I'm not coming into work tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely have had shows that I have dropped, but I came back later because I know that it might have gotten better. Maybe let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think that's with me.
I almost
for
did that
Walking
with
Dead.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the first 4 episodes were kind of like lull episodes. They say like one time period, and it didn't seem to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, after like the 5th episode, then that's where it's really started to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with this season's Legends, for me it's kind of hit and miss. Somewhere this is like the Shogun episode. I was like, give me an interesting villain or interesting stuff to do, and thinking like they would be in feudal Japan. Oh yeah, this sounds cool. We can meet samurai and ninjas, but it didn't do it for me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there were some funny lines in there and some cool things. We got to discover that the person that owns the sword will one day, hand it down, um, and it will end up in the hands of Katana.
Yeah.
So
That was a nice little Easter egg.
Yeah, a little revelation. Like, that's the soul sword. That's the sword that traps the souls of everyone it kills.
Yeah.
It's not your typical, sword. That would have been funny if just Ray just kept it the whole time. Like, oops, Katana doesn't exist anymore.
That just reminds me of Suicide Squad. That scene with Katana and the sword. It just made me laugh.
Oh yeah, that scene came off so dry. Of his explanation of Katana coming on board the plane. It was like,
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, you just killed that line, and that meant poorly, not like really good.
Yeah.
It's called acting and emoting. You're not Jai Courtney. Oh wait,
Yeah.
Jai Courtney was in that film.
Yeah. I think he was my favorite character in the movie.
Yeah, and he actually played the character well, and I think it's also because he got to use his actual accent.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And when he's trying to do an American accent, almost every single time, whether it's what was it? What was the book series called? It has Shin in it. What is that? Shoot, now I forgot the series. It's a trilogy book. And he was only in 2 of them. And then you had what was Terminator Genesis, or just any
Genesis,
or just any of the roles I've seen him in. He doesn't seem to emote very well when he's doing an American accent. And in here, in Suicide Squad, he got to really let loose and be crazy and probably just be himself.
Mm-hmm. Dude, that'd be crazy if they had him to play Mad Max. I'd be down for that.
I still like Tom Hardy.
No, Tom Hardy's great too, but Jai Courtney using his Australian accent as Mad Max, yeah.
Holding a pink unicorn. Now, outside of your website, Nerd Reactor, what do you guys like to do? What are your hobbies outside of your normal reaction stuff?
I think for now, we're just hardcore gamers. We're playing a lot of Titanfall 2 right now, and we're playing a lot of. We just recently played Hardline. It's an older Battlefield game, but when it came out, it was really cheap. So I was like, you know what? Let's just get this, and then we'll get our group to play together. So we've been hooked on Hardline.
It's not a great game. If this was $60, I would not buy this game. But for $4, you can't beat it. And we play it, and it's pretty fun. For $4, you can't beat the price. But other than that, I mean, we do. I think almost everything we do has something that connects us to what's it called? To Nerd Reactor. Yeah, because I would say
everything we do is fun.
We do escape rooms, but that has to do with Nerd Reactor as well. Escape rooms is something we really like to do, and it all comes back to Nerd Reactor.
And also immersive theater. I love immersive theater, and the recent one we've done during the Halloween season was, of course, you have Delusion in Los Angeles, and then you also have Tension Experience, also in LA, done by the director of the Saw films, Saw 2, 3, and 4, and that was a very cool experience. If you're a fan of horror, if you're a fan of just feeling like you're a main character in a movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, have you ever thought of doing stuff like those, virtual reality headsets like the HTC Vive or anything like that? Reaction?
Oh yeah, reaction to those. We've done some reactions, but I don't think we have enough footage just to release those out there. Maybe in the future, yeah. Especially for horror games. I definitely want to do one when Resident Evil comes out.
You'll be screaming.
Oh yeah.
It's behind you. Hit him with the flashlight.
Yeah, have you played the demo for Resident Evil in VR?
I have not played it.
That shit is intense. We've what is it? Capcom recently did an event. They've been doing it. They've been showing it off at, I think, at E3 and at different conventions. But I tried it at I Am 8-Bit, which is in LA, and they're showing off their escape room for Resident Evil, which we've done, which is pretty cool if you're a Resident Evil fan. And they also had a VR demo set up, and you're tied to a chair, and you move. Your hands are tied too, so you can't move around. And there's a guy trying to help you, trying to free you, and a creature comes up from behind him. And I've never felt like uneasiness from VR before in terms of like, I don't want to be here. This is kind of creepy. Like other games, this is cool. I want to be here. I want to be like the one-man army. What is that game, Mike, that we played? We're like ninjas, action stars.
That was Raw Data.
Raw Data. That was cool. Like, yeah, this is cool. But for the Resident Evil one, I was like, get me out of here. Like, I really felt like an actual person was staring down at me and trying to hurt me. So that was definitely try it out.
Fantastic. Yeah, those virtual reality games are really getting to the point of you almost feel like that's the real world you're living in, and then you start to freak out when you're like, oh, the floor is going up below me, or there's a zombie, or we're in a plane now, we're crashing.
Yeah. So have you tried out a lot of the VR stuff?
Yeah, I don't have any. I don't own. They're very expensive. I
Oh, yeah.
played demos of stuff. I haven't done the Resident Evil one. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan and looking forward to the upcoming last film of the series. I'm not expecting much. Much, so I'm going in with low expectations.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've been a fan of the games for a long time, ever since the first one.
Yeah. Let's see, the VR. What was your favorite VR experience that you've done?
What's my favorite VR experience? Let's see. It's hard to. Well, one was fighting zombies. I forgot that one. Other one. One was with jobs. Doing a job.
Job Simulator.
Yeah, Job Simulator. Yeah, that's interesting because it seems so simple, and then you're going, nope, that's not as simple. It's still satisfying. It's feel like when you finally get something done, you're like, I did something, and then you realize I actually have to go to work tomorrow. Oh, I have to go to my real job and do this exact thing.
Then what is it? I'm looking forward to Eagle Flight. That's by Ubisoft, and the controls for that one, you only use the controller for like shooting, but flight movement you use your head. So let's say if you look up, you're flying up. You look down, you fly down. And if you want to do a sharp turn, you tilt your head. And that game, out of all the stuff I've done so far, makes you feel like you're really flying. And moving your head is very intuitive. Like, I think using your head compared to controller, your head movement is more accurate than if you were to use a controller. And it's crazy. Just imagine playing 2 versus 2 Capture the Rabbit, flying through the city of Paris as an eagle.
Nice. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Now, let's see. We're getting a little over the time limit here, but can you tell the fans where to find you online, like your Facebook and website?
You can find Mike at the local McDonald's on.
Don't tell them that.
Yeah, you can find us on nerdreactor.com. You can find us on Instagram, at NerdReactor, on YouTube, NerdReactor on Facebook. We use the same username, NerdReactor. So just search NerdReactor and you will find us.
Fantastic. And before we finish this podcast, do you have any other things that you would like to say, pimp out?
Yeah, we have we just went to BlizzCon, so our BlizzCon music video is going to be up very soon, and just want you guys to know that it's going to come up and you can watch it. It's going to be fun. It's going to have a lot of dancing, a lot of great cosplay outfits from Overwatch, from Warcraft, and all that. Mike, you have anything to say?
No.
Are we going to get to see you dancing, John, in the video?
Um, no, sorry.
But we've seen your incredible moves in the Stranger Things reactions.
Yes. Well, there was me dancing. If you watched well, not really dancing, but I was in the Stanley's Comic Con video, so you can see me in there on my knees with Negan behind with his baseball bat with Lucille.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, thank you for coming on to our new episode of GNERD Corners Presents. It was fun talking with you guys.
Same here.
I'm sorry if it's gone over a little bit over. I know you guys have to react to probably The Walking Dead pretty soon.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
definitely.
I'm looking forward to that. But it was awesome to have you guys on. And maybe later in the future, if you want to come back on, it would be awesome just to, instead of just an interview, just to talk.
Oh yeah, we'll be honored to come back, just chit chat and whatever. Definitely down.
Definitely, I'm looking forward to all your new reactions, all your new videos. Guys, go check them out on Facebook. You guys also have a Twitter as well?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, go see them on Twitter or go check out their website, and definitely go to YouTube and subscribe.
That's what I like to hear.
And subscribe to us too. Don't forget.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, John. Thank you, Mike, for being on tonight's episode.
Thanks for having us.
Oh yeah.
And remember, all you listeners, to enjoy your chimichanga.
Mm-mm.